So anyway, here we go, people.
Hi, I'm Brittany Ashley, your host of Breaking Norms, Building Dreams, your guide through this transformative journey in both business and life. This is your place crafted for dreamers, doers, or anyone who has been told they can't. Get ready as we challenge those narratives together. You're tuning in live to the United Public Radio Network, airing on 105.3 and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. We are streaming on all the popular platforms every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me for a candid and thought-provoking conversation celebrating your unique journey because you are worth it.
Everybody wake up.
What the hell was that?
Think I see my friends coming.
You wanted Bigfoot, you got him.
Friends, you get some seal.
I'm glad we're doing the gallows call now, not the gallop call. I'm tired of that.
Finally, some music I can relate to.
Did you bring me? Keep me from the gallows. Oh. I couldn't get no silver. I couldn't get no gold. You know the way I'm too damn far from the gallows. Oh. Hangman, hangman, hold it a little while. I think I see my brother coming riding many a mile. Brother, you give me some silver as you get a little gold.
Bunch of Bitcoin.
I want till you bring me my brother, keep me from the gallows pole.
I think they're the most brilliant when they do.
Brother, I hold you some silver. I put a little gold. I put a little of everything, keep me from the gallows pole.
I had that album, man. You just spin that thing around.
Keep it from the
You sit there for
gallows
hours,
pole.
all fucked up, spinning it around, looking at it.
Hangman, hangman, turn your head a while. I think I see my sister coming, running many a mile.
I like Zeppelin with the roll.
Take him
Like
by
other
the hand,
bands singing.
take him to some shady flowers. Send him on the
see him bringing some Bitcoin.
Upon your face a smile. Tell me that I'm free to ride.
Bring that Bitcoin, baby. Come on, I'll let you go. You bring me that Bitcoin.
Remember that Dogecoin? I tried buying that. I couldn't even buy it. It's so fucking garbage. I want one called Bitcoin. Nobody can tell it. Swing it on.
Hey Heidi, how you doing? I see, girl. I like you. You do a lot of posting.
Heidi. Like a pirate.
There's my girl Heidi. Hey Heidi, much love from Pittsburgh. I think. Therefore, I am. All right. Well, Led Zeppelin might play a little bit more later on. Maybe some Immigrant. Maybe some Ramble On. Whoever sent me that, no, we are not doing no Stairway to Heaven. No.
Zeppelin, so I'm not gonna tell you what it is.
Well, why not? Why not, Jay? Why no Zeppelin, dude?
No, we got Zeppelin.
It's another Zeppelin song. I just don't want the audience to know. You guys can look in there and click on the link and find out. But I just want it to be a surprise for everybody.
Well, I got an idea. Heidi, think of a song that you want to play for us to play for you, Heidi, on the first break. It's all about you.
We love you, but if it ain't Zeppelin, it ain't getting played.
Yeah, but that's what I put in there is Led Zeppelin. If you want to look at it and approve it,
pick a Led Zeppelin song and we'll play it for you. Yes. You got to watch Dexter, man. We're keeping an eye on Dexter now. We know the truth's out.
Yeah, that's my new name, Dexter.
Dexter is on the loose.
Truth is out, man.
I told Michelle, Michelle, you better be careful, baby.
Hey,
Dexter's on the
man.
loose.
Good to see you, pal. Good to see you, Squatch, man.
Welcome to the room, everybody. Come on in, have a good time. Oh man, so we're getting a little crazy out there today.
Cameras.
So what are we on now? We are 18, so 2 days, right? Less than 48 hours before you know who leaves office and you know who takes office. Oh man, you know what? I think I'm off Monday. I might have to do a broadcast special.
Who, Joe? Who is it?
Who could it be? It could be George W. Bush. Oh no, that's not who it is. Ronald Reagan.
Bush.
Oh, wait a minute. So wait, let's
air.
So it's Christmas.
I seen Trump's new portrait. You know, he's all like, "Yeah, look at me." So then
his new portrait is his mugshot.
So no, his mugshot ain't bad, but this is better.
It's exactly his mugshot. I think he liked it so
no,
much.
Actually,
if you're gonna have a mugshot, it should be a good one.
Well, actually, it's Ronald Reagan.
Like all scared or mad.
Well, no, dude. It's Ronald Reagan. He even did the eyes the same. They took the Ronald Reagan's picture and you put it side by side to Trump's. It's the same picture. It's just Trump's face. He moved his face. He's even got the same look, the same stare, the same twitch. He's all like, I'm the man. Hey, look, I'm hoping he is the man. I'm not, look.
I just want to lower the goddamn food, lower the gas, and I want more money in my pocket. That's what I want.
I'd like to see more money in my pocket.
That's what I think everybody's hoping for, Michael. And if he doesn't produce, then
gas prices I'd like to see come down. Yes.
You know what taxes?
So before we get into any fun stuff in the box, I know there's some stupid stuff I want to talk about after a while, but well, there's always some kind of stupid stuff running around there. So I'm listening to ICE, the new head of ICE. What's his name? So I love how this man. Thank you. See, Shawn always knows these guys' names. So anyway, first thing he says, well, we might as well get the hard shit out of the way first. So we're going to start in sanctuary cities.
Round them up.
So that's where we're going to start. So then he reiterates today. He says, and don't forget, Mr. Governor's out there. Mr. I think I own the world in California. Newsom. He said, Mr. Newsom. And then he said the Colorado governor's name, I don't know. And then he talked about the Chicago mayor. He said, I was thinking about this today. I was talking with one of my underlings and said, well, he said, I'm pretty sure y'all going to get arrested for interference. He said, Diddy's in a big cell these days. He thought we might just drop you in with, P. Diddy and y'all could have a little get together like the old days. I was like, no way, this dude, there is no other guy would have ever said anything like this. This guy is insane. He is telling them you're going to jail if you interfere.
Really say that?
Yeah, he said he's told them at least 5 times now that you're going to jail if you interfere.
Oh, you're going to the meat grinder.
Well, what are the actual consequences? Is it because they're mayors and governors and stuff like that? They're just going to get like a slap on the wrist, or what? I mean, what are the actual?
No, they go to jail like anybody else. So if you interfere with the law, it's the same thing. You can get up to 20 years for
called interference with governmental administration.
But it's more than that. If you're hiding someone that's illegal in our country, that's
felonies or known felons. Because that's what they say they're going after. Is they're going after for known
they're
criminals.
Aiding and abetting known criminals, man. I mean, if I'm to write down all the laws that they broke, there's a hell of a lot of them that they're not enforcing.
I mean, if you go to court or trial for aiding and abetting, you go to trial in court for the same thing.
Y'all made me sick, Dexter.
So you're going to jail for whatever they committed, also, like whether it's robbery, rape, blah blah blah. You're going to jail for
related crimes, man. I mean, they're part of it.
You're considered an accomplice at that point. Are they going to do that to mayors and governors?
I'd love to see it.
Yes, they are. So this is how this works. So when there's Democrats, they get away with it. But if you hide, don't matter who you are, if you're hiding someone who's illegal in our country, who has already been served to leave our country because you have done harm either in our country or another country, you have just now
laws of their countries.
It doesn't matter whose country. If you've been asked to leave and you're still here and you're being hid by someone in this country, you have committed treason. This is way far worse. This is and if you're in the military, I mean not in the military, if you're in any kind of governorship or any kind of political, that is treason in this country. And treason carries.
So Trump should say this to all these illegal aliens. I'm going to give you a week to leave, to go. Here's the buses. Get
he said he's already told them that. He's already told me get the fuck out. He's coming for him.
The catapult, right? Put him in the
catapult. I think this guy has just got this guy may be even in my standards, he may be over enthusiastic. But he's going to go after him. And Trump already told him. See, this is what everybody forgets. And even the media has reported on this. He's already told him, Trump has given me permission to arrest anyone I feel impedes my job.
Let's have a flashback, right?
And he'd love to arrest Newsom.
When Trump first got elected, he appointed the warrior monk to go after ISIS. Within 5 months, Joe, you remember we were counting the days. This guy dismantled ISIS. They went into the Middle East and they just broke him into pieces, man. And at that point, there was no more ISIS until the Democrats. Weirdly, when the Democrats are in charge, ISIS grows and thrives.
Well,
weirdly, yeah.
If there's not any more weird diseases or something that comes in, Trump may be able to usher in the golden age.
It's a cold virus, but it's going around.
Yeah. Well, we got a quademic going on in northern Mississippi right now.
They're not calling it.
Stay up there.
Heidi's from Colorado. Heidi, are they already in? Is ICE in Colorado right now?
Heidi? We're gonna nuke Colorado, people.
I think she can hear you.
No, she's from Colorado, man.
Love me some Colorado. Well, Colorado is this tri-state now. You've got a third, and a third, blue, white, and red. And what I mean is the independents are white.
No, she says she already thinks they've been there already.
Oh, they're already there. So the ones he's getting rid of first, everybody who's going first, the people who have already been served by our government, is about 3 million of them. Get the fuck out. They've already told them. If you don't get out, not only that, they can be imprisoned in this country until such a time that we can throw them out.
Let me tell you this about Colorado. You know what I learned about Colorado from my cousin, the other one, Michael Angley, who was a colonel in the Air Force, and he knows the stuff, man. In fact, we should have him on the show. So now MS-13 has set up camp in southern Colorado a long time ago for their drug hub. So they run drugs from Mexico, goes up into southern Colorado, and they distribute from that point on. When I went through there, I can attest there was MS-13 everywhere. They got the tattoos on their faces. You know them, you can tell their attitude and the whole bit. They run that town. and then it goes on through, up through Colorado Springs and all the other areas there, and whatever the outbound, east, west, north, and now they're going into so these dudes hook up with girls on the reservation, these Indian girls, right? They establish themselves there, and then they can bring drugs on the reservation, and it's almost impossible for the federal any agents to go on that res and look for those drugs and chase those guys down unless they have exact everything, time, place, person, whatever. So they're pushing drugs to these reservations, and then I don't know. It's a bigger, more horrible issue that this government needs to pay attention to now before it's too late. Might be too late.
And Heidi is saying Northern Colorado wants to be their own independent state.
Colorado's an awesome state, man. I loved it there. People are so friendly. It was really nice.
Ollie. Good.
Beautiful, and I don't know, man. I think it was really cool, but the politics are terrible. But
don't you like us anymore, Joe?
Oh, I'm just trying to find something on the damn screen that it won't let me find. Anyway. Hey, Holly, how you doing? It's, Colorado's a great state. It's got its issues like all the other states. Does like right now it has a completely moronic governor who's going to probably end up in jail.
But he's one of the three that said he's going to interfere with any type of ICE movements. So I mean, I really want to know if they're really going to push the full course of the law on these governors and high officials that are going to try to get in the way of an actual federal act.
They talk big, but when the cops come and knocking,
you're not looking at it the way it is. Trump doesn't give a shit. Trump's only got 4 years. It's not like he would have had 8. If he had 8, he could have took his time with the agendas, but he don't now. He's got 4. They Democrats knew what they were doing. They kicked him in the nuts. Now he's got to play double time, so he doesn't have time to piss fuck around in courts with people from Colorado or California. And he has no problem putting Newsom in jail. Not even a little bit. Newsom needs to be in fucking jail. And all he's going to put him in jail for is contempt.
Oh my God.
But it's still, and all that's going to happen is just like when Trump went to jail, they're going to walk in, they're going to get fingerprint, they're going to get their pictures taken until such a time that it can go to court. But that's what's going to happen. And now they're charged with a felony. Anything you do against the federal government, and remember, federal law always comes first. State law comes second. So as a governor, you cannot supersede federal law, especially a mandate given by the fucking president of the United States. That's fucking treason.
I don't know how they think they can. They act like they have no problem.
You know what? I've been noticing a lot more Democrats have been kissing the ring. And a lot more people are really nervous about what's coming.
Oh, yeah.
A lot more. Think about the world leaders this guy is talking to. He's not even president. He's still not president for another 2 days. And he's every day he talks to at least 3 world leaders. I mean, I've never seen a president like this. Even Reagan had this much going on ahead of time.
I think Reagan was too distracted by the actual Cold War to even be focused on anything else. But
Reagan did a great job. I'm not going to hate him. He's a fabulous
and good job. But his economic platform is what got us into the economic debacle that Obama had to navigate through.
You know what you're talking about now. So that wasn't even what happened. You know who fixed the economy, right? Was Clinton. He paid off the debt.
Yes, but then Obama messed it all up again.
Yeah, Obama messed it up. Yeah, so not Trump. Reagan just went crazy ass spending because of Star Wars and Pine Gap and the heart facility and the whip. And anyway, he just went insane and probably tripled the debt. And then Clinton came in, missed I can't keep it in my pants, and paid the debt down. I got to give him credit for that.
Nothing wrong with having sex.
Really good economy under Bill Clinton. I got to say, I admit he was.
With Reagan with 8 years and Clinton with 8 years and that little weird 4 years we had a Bush in between, we actually had 20 years of stable, good economy, good country. Prices were good. They were solid all the way through on both presidents or all 3 presidents. We did have a little war in the middle with
except where the raises were given at the executive level, they didn't trickle down far enough down to the hourly level to make people stay up with
and that's a point because when what's the current federal
minimum wage?
$7.25.
Hey Google.
Yeah, $7.25. I think she's right.
On the website paycor.com, they say other states that match the federal rate of $7.25.
Yep. And hey, wait, ask him when that was implemented. I think it's been like 10 years.
Kansas.
It's been longer than that.
Louisiana.
It's
New Hampshire.
Hey, Google.
North Carolina.
When did the federal minimum income become $7.25?
It's been a long time. It's embarrassing.
July 24th, 2009. On the
bigger question is
embarrassing. That's embarrassing. That's 16 years ago.
What is the
16
poverty
years, no
rate?
raise.
And poverty rate.
Google, what's the current U.S. poverty rate?
State by state.
That's just
on the
sad.
website tgpf.org,
That's
they
fucking
say,
sad.
the poverty rate has varied in the past few years. Since the pandemic, however, those two measures have diverged. The OPM rose moderately in the first year of the pandemic, from 10.5% in 2019 to 11.5% in 2020, and has remained elevated since then, reaching 11.1% in 2023.
12%.
Yeah. So
Not telling you what the deal is with the poverty rate, but the poverty rate is actually around minimum wage. So if you make it, in some places it's more. Like in New York State, there, especially down Long Island or something in the city.
So the federal minimum wage,
New York, the minimum wage is $15 an hour.
What it boils down to is that no single human being can survive on their single income unless they're making a minimum of like 25 or 30
somewhere around
an hour
in a city. Yeah, I mean,
period. Anywhere, it doesn't matter if they're in the city.
No. There's places you can make it on. There's places in the United States you can make it on $15 an hour. It's there's lots of places in the South you can, but
you can make it, but you're not happy.
25, you're doing okay. If you're making, if you're making 25 an hour down here, you're doing, especially in Mississippi, Louisiana. If you're making 25, unless you're in New Orleans, you're doing okay. And if your other half is making the same, so you're making $50, you're living good. You're comfortable. You're not surviving. You're actually getting ahead. But things are cheaper down here. I mean, gas is $2.20 a gallon, eggs and milk and everything's cheaper, so you don't need as big an income. And if you're one of those technology type things or one of the things that are needed down here, of course they're going to pay you a lot more. Any of the real good tech fields usually start and pays around 125,000 a year, which is for one person you can live well in the South on 125. Not in Atlanta, not in New Orleans. Because those cities are going to eat you alive. Not in Miami, probably not in Jackson.
Well, I can say, in the 90s, pre and post college, as a bartender going to college, I made enough that I could, on a Friday night, Saturday night, one weekend, I could take that cash the next weekend and go to Atlanta with and get a hotel room and check out, Dragon Con for a couple of days and then drive back home. That's how good things were back in the 90s. But you want to try to go and do something like that now, even if you live close, it's going to cost you a minimum. If you want to stay in the hotel where the convention is, you're talking minimum $1,000-$3,000.
Hey, Joe. Well, so yeah, right now, I mean, if you want to travel in the U.S., most places, I've even found in North, most places you can find an okay hotel for $100.
Oh boy, Joe.
Yeah, but I'm talking for the special event. I mean, the special event, the
hotel.
No.
But even there, if unless you're staying right downtown, then it's always going to be more. But so when I go to Atlanta, so Dragon Con,
the Dragon Con hotel, man, you can't.
Yeah, so when I go to Dragon Con, I usually stay at a Hilton. I get a suite. It's a 1 bedroom. It's got a separate bedroom. It's got its bathroom separate, and it's got the little living room and area coffee.
It's usually Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina, and it usually flip flops between the two North Carolinas, or the two Carolinas rather, being bottom 2 or bottom 1, and Georgia 3.
Is that the one? Is that what Rob Kinsella wants to know?
Yeah.
What state has the lowest?
That's what they've usually been. Hey Google, what are the 3 lowest American states for public education?
Oh, Mississippi's got to be its second or third.
UK, they say. Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Maryland top the list as the states with the best performing public schools.
That's not what we asked you, dummy.
Oklahoma and Arizona fared the worst.
Go to
Oklahoma and Arizona were the worst.
Greatschools.com, man.
Yeah.
Who? Arizona,
one of them. Mm-hmm.
The New York State.
You're hating on Arizona.
They have whole grades.
New York has been in the middle of everything for 50 years.
My sister lives in Arizona and raised her daughter.
The whole class.
But wait. Anyway, let me finish what I was answering a little while ago. Because people were asking me about going to Dragon Con, and to FanX. So look, you can go to Dragon Con depending on where you want to stay. I stayed downtown at Dragon Con. Now I got a deal with the Hilton, so I paid, I think it was $189 a night, and then if I stayed more than 3, they dropped it to, I think it was like $140.
Hilton, you get the deal.
It's but I actually do know a Hilton, but we can't talk about that right now. But anyway, it's the thing about it is it's a nice room. I mean, I could get a cheaper room there. It's just this is a suite. This is usually up higher. It's a suite. It's a 1-bedroom suite. You got all the amenities.
Did you ever see Manhunter?
No.
Manhunter is the first Hannibal Lecter movie. It's got the guy who was in CSI, the first guy, Gus Grissom or whatever. But they use that hotel exclusively, that Atlanta Hilton, and it's got a really neat lobby and a very cool like spinal cord elevator system.
Yeah, it does. It's strange, but it's I mean it's nice, very and you get a good. I mean you can get a room in there as cheap as $99, but the one I liked, it's nice. Like
my buddy does IT for the
Colorado's the one that screwed me over. Denver.
Did you hear that, Heidi? Did you hear that?
Colorado's so in every state we traveled through 6 different states. We stayed in the same type room at the Hilton. So we're staying in Denver, not even downtown Denver. They wanted $365 a night for this room. Wow. I was like, you got to be shitting me. That's double anybody else I had paid for. And a lot of the places I paid a little less, than other places, like $150 on they included breakfast and stuff. On the weekends, everybody included breakfast. So because both ends of the trip were on weekends. It's but I gotta say it. The reason I like the Hilton is because the consistency wherever you go is there. It doesn't matter. The prices usually are too, with the exception of that one in Colorado. But everywhere else was consistent, and the food was good.
With the Hilton is that they whack you for the Wi-Fi. They want you to pay like $25 to use Wi-Fi.
Well,
slow. I have my own hotspot, so I circumvent that. But
I'll tell you, I'll show you how next time to get over that. So on our website, they got the press passes. You take your press pass when you go in. You tell them what you're doing there, and that you'll give X amount of time to the hotel, and you'll do a mini thing in the hotel. I never pay for Wi-Fi ever. I haven't paid for. I couldn't even tell you last time. It always did bother me that cheap hotels give you free Wi-Fi and expensive hotels want you to pay for this shit.
Yeah, why?
That's always bothered me.
They want your money. That's why they want your money.
I mean, here's even something stupider. Especially when you're on the road. Joe, you can attest to this. I've driven all up and down the Eastern Seaboard from Florida to Connecticut, back and forth, up and down, going through colleges and whatnot. And no matter what hotel you go to, the small chain, big chain, what have you, guess what's across the street? McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, a big chain restaurant, fast food restaurant. And what do? Free Wi-Fi. You can usually siphon off of that if you're not too high up on the hotel.
Oh,
so
geez,
I don't know why they charge for it.
I have not been to a hotel, and I travel a lot due to my paranormal investigating, and I never had to pay for Wi-Fi. Never.
Well, if I'm telling you, if the hotel is under $100 a night, you never have to pay for it ever. It's once you get over like 150, they want you to pay for Wi-Fi, and it's not just cheap; it's like $10-15 a day. They're like, oh, well, here, it's cheap if you're there one day, but if you stay like I do, because I'm usually anywhere from 5 to 10
one
days.
freaking night, man, and you're paying $25.
Airplane too,
even on airplane, it's the same deal. They want to charge you extraordinary amount of money just for their stupid Wi-Fi.
Actually, I got a package for that, but that's different.
Mark Eddy has something here. He says, "I hope everyone is doing okay with all of this global warming going on."
Shut up.
Yeah, we're gonna get 6 inches of snow where I live. 6 inches, people.
Fucking 6 below zero tomorrow night,
again here right now, Mark. But the other good thing that's cool about global warming is
you fucking keep your fucking snow up north.
Yeah, but the good thing about the global warming, there's more sun, I can now focus this on people and burn holes in their shirt. So it's an excellent thing.
No, he'd be doing the stuff, man.
Maybe when I get angry.
I know.
Leah's probably already buried. Leah, you been getting a lot of snow where you live? Because I know it gets cold as shit up there.
Yeah, it was like 9 degrees the other day. Probably even cooler today.
I know it's going to be freezing cold. So you Yankees, all you Yankees, because I'm the only Southern in this fucking room, y'all keep your damn snow up north. Keep it up, Dexter. I will send some voodoo up there in your ass.
I'd rather be in the ashes right now than in the snow.
There's gonna be, there's gonna be a lot of good stuff coming out of LA. What's up, Shawn, baby? I'm just giving you shit. What's up?
No, Marchetti says so. I'm not studly enough to be addressed. We addressed it, Mark.
What addressed? What? I didn't see it. What is it, man? Look, I got this thing pops up on my screen. What am I not addressing here? Yeah, I don't know, man. Are you studly though, man? That is a question. But I still don't see what you were asking.
No, he was asking about the global warming.
Audience can answer that question for him. So.
Oh, I made several comments about that damn global warming, global cooling. When I was a kid, when I was a fucking kid, they said the ice age was coming. Now it's global warming, and then we forget, but there's a warming cycle before every ice age.
But I remember being a kid younger in Maryland, which by the way is the first southern state. So you're not the only southerner here. But we had snow.
No damn southern state.
We had sometimes snow in October. I mean, early.
Yeah, in Pennsylvania, we always had snow in October, dude. We used to go trick or treating when
I was 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I just remember being more snowy. I remember more snowy events, more like 2, 3, 4, 5 foot events, like one a year.
Yeah,
no,
so
right, dude.
That's why they we bitched about this so long when all this started. That's why it got changed from global warming to climate change.
I grew up through. I mean, I remember actually having to get on the bus with 2 feet of snow on the street. They just didn't plow. They just mashed it all flat like a.
All right, man. We don't hear these stories that you had to walk 10 miles in the snow uphill, man.
I didn't. I got on the bus.
Uphill both ways.
I walked outside.
Uphill both ways.
My hair would turn to frost. I shit you not. My hair would turn to frost. It was so cold. I'm not kidding you. That is for real. I've witnessed this.
What's that, Carol?
It used to be colder back then.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
We had to put Wonder Bread bags on our feet, man.
And you see, think about what y'all was saying. Yeah. So for y'all, it used to be colder.
Do that. They used to have put Wonder Bread. That's not a joke.
We did. That's no joke. It's the truth. We did it.
Yeah, man.
We had Wonder Bread on our boots, on our shoes.
That's right.
Or in between the boots and your shoes.
Kept our feet dry.
Heidi knows the deal. Holly,
y'all hear this, people, right? Y'all hear this stuff, right? I don't know nothing about any of this Wonder Bread shit.
You had to bundle up going out, man.
Everybody down here owns hip boots. We don't need no damn no Wonder Bread.
You had to bundle up. Now kids go out in shorts.
Heidi said she'd walk to the bus stop.
Me too. My hair would turn to frost. You can go like this. I go crunch, crunch, crunch. It was like putting mousse in your hair. It would turn to plastic. I'm not making that shit up. That's for real. That's how cold it got.
Oh God, hell yeah! I remember. But you took a bus, dude. We had to walk in the shit.
Oh man, where's my violin at? Where the fuck is my violin?
I had to slide around in the bus. Was going to run your guys' asses over on the
Leah said she's going to start singing here in a minute, people.
I walked until high school. Then my mom would drive me.
Oh God,
no bus. I didn't want to wait for the bus.
Do not make me break out a violin, man.
Sometimes, man. Well, the school was damn far. That was the high school was pretty far from where I lived, but yeah, the school was more. But it was cool to walk. You know why it was cool to walk? Because
was like that too.
You know why it was cool? There was a bowling alley right in between.
That's right.
They had Space Invaders, they had Asteroids, and that's all you needed, man. That's all you needed.
Space Invaders.
And those big cookies, like freaking cookie, like.
You have to agree when we were kids in
Pittsburgh, too, but I had to go to that.
Sometimes you could not see more than a block because of the smog.
Then we had Bernie's Candy Shop, man. I used to buy lottery tickets, dude. I was like 8 years old. And winning, too.
Look, the audience is asking what kind of fucking drugs you people are on. I'm with you. I have no idea. They something better than I'm on for sure. Oh man!
All we want to do is fight because we walked in the snow and Jay's having a knipper there.
All right, no more snow. We don't hear no more snow. I got to deal with it soon enough. Y'all keep y'all snow where it's at. All right.
Send it down your way, Joe. You're going to deal with
it. How are you getting it? Well, I'm not getting a lot. We're only getting 6 inches, but still.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Hey, look. So let me explain this to you Yankees. 6 inches for us is like fucking 30 feet for y'all. Okay, I just want y'all to understand that. No, just tell y'all that fucking Southerners, unless you're like in Atlanta where it actually snows from time to time. The rest of the Southerners down here don't know they look at snow like, is somebody pissing on my head or something? What is this? They don't. They really, they might go make some snowman.
Man.
But once the temperature, but if we have days because of the humidity, if we have consistent days of below 30 for like 4 or 5 days, we close all the highways because the humidity's so high down here, they all become sheets of ice. It's just ice, man.
Listen,
it's everywhere. There is nothing but ice.
Well, there's something worse that some of you deep southerners may not know about. There's yellow and brown snow. So if it tastes like shit, smells like shit, and feels like shit when you pick it up in the snow,
we ain't worried about snow, man.
So be careful about those kinds of snow.
I was an Eskimo.
I'm not even going there with that one.
Yeah, put some Frank Zappa on there, man.
Speaking of pollution, our air quality in the Mile High has been awful. What's up with that?
Yeah, it has been. I see y'all get a lot of air quality alerts lately.
If you're up in the Mile High City, that's what you're also up probably closer to where the average inversion layer is, where what they call stagnant air. The air doesn't really move.
Well, I mean, Denver's a pretty big city now. Last time I drove to it, which was only 2 years ago, it's a pretty whopping ass, big ass, sprawled out place now. We include all the suburbs and shit. So, yeah, I imagine it's funky. What do you mean? I like Colorado just fine. I'm just not a big fan of Denver. No, I just
Boulder was very
big
cool.
fan.
I enjoyed Boulder 100%.
There were several places I was in Colorado actually. Like there's a couple places I stayed while we were in Colorado. I've been through the state
when I was
7 or 8 times.
Service, I flew into Denver, going out to San Diego, and I couldn't breathe, dude. I could not breathe.
Oh, at Mile High, a lot of people can't.
I mean,
sometimes you have to regulate your thoughts to keep yourself from hyperventilating.
Yeah, but that's nothing, man. You start going look, Santa Fe is like 7,300 feet elevation. So like, when you're out west, man, you know, Joe, you get close to that, that line.
So something I learned though, a little secret I learned. So like when we're cruising through the mountains, driving, and you're crossing through all these different elevations, because you cross through a lot of elevations, especially when you're out west. And you finally get where you're going. As long as you don't come down real fast, you don't really notice it all that much. But like on the way home, it's different. So when you hit, say, Georgia and coming into Mississippi, it's like ride downhill the whole damn way. So about halfway down, you start getting lightheaded and dizzy and shit. It's the altitude's changing, and at 80 miles an hour, it's changing quickly.
Well, even if you're not coming from the mountains, there's a very gradual one. If you go down like 95,
and the air density changes too.
Your travel time is an hour less, and then if you're going up from Georgia to New York, because you're going uphill that whole time.
Lower octane,
it's a very gradual one.
They give you lower octane and higher elevations too, But yeah, I mean,
I did notice though. Okay.
Yeah.
But when I went up there, like I stayed in, Louisville, it was just outside of Denver, and I felt like I went to the supermarket and I'm walking out and I felt like kind of winded a little bit. And that's how you feel, like a little winded, but next day, everything cleared up. And then I was loving it. I was loving the elevation. And we went all the way up like over 10, 11,000 feet, whatever it was.
Yeah, as long as you let yourself acclimate to the area, it's not that bad. It's the same thing in Utah. I mean, Utah, we're traveling all over Utah and it gets pretty high up there. You get used to it.
The hills of Raton, like New Mexico up there. That was like 7,800 feet, something like that. So you don't really think about it, but
I kind of disagree. If you have to get used to the area, my parents kind of they lived in Arizona, like the Phoenix area for a couple of years, and I went out to visit a few times. And usually, for more than a 3 or 4 day time, as I was there, I got nosebleeds because the air was so dry that my nasal passages just started, randomly nosebleeding. So I'm like, if you have to get used to that, I'm like, no thanks. I mean, and if I lived there, how often would I get a nosebleed? Like, would it be
dry? It's so
dry. Seasonal thing.
It is dry.
Yeah.
You gotta drink a lot of water, and so I drink a lot of coffee, and I drink water too. But when I travel on the road, you don't want to pee a ton of times because you travel, and so you drink less water. And I'm also drinking coffee at the same time. But then it dehydrates.
It was messing around somehow. There we go.
Oh my God! Check him out. Man, Dexter. Hi, everybody.
Ready, camera 2, and
let's see everybody's mugshot.
That's camera 3, Joe.
She is. Hi, Leah.
I'll be camera 1.
I want to see your mugshot. Who here has a mugshot?
Not me, man.
There we go.
I got pulled over for DUI. I don't know if that gives me a mugshot or not, but I mean,
I was
that's a
arrested
mugshot,
for my
baby.
TV show. So
if he was wearing one of them cameras, that was a mugshot, my friend.
I was smiling because I knew I was going to whip their asses back. They had no idea the Dragon Man leash.
Oh look, I hate going out west because I noticed when we hit the other side of New Mexico, usually I can look at my hands and they're cracking. Yeah. Bitches are like turning into. I mean, I'm so used because down here, that's why women look younger. By the way, if you live in the South because of the moisture.
And, man, yeah.
Oh yeah, they do. On average, they look quite a bit younger for quite a bit longer too.
Not that dried out beef jerky.
It's also why a lot of them move to Florida when they get older. A friend of mine says, "I wonder how many old women live in Florida."
Some coconut oil.
Well, it's funny because I got a lot of female friends out west, and I'll talk to them, and every time I'm talking to them, they're always putting hand lotion on, or this lotion on, or that lotion on.
Yeah, they have
how much fucking money do you spend on lotion a year? And this is one of my poor friends.
She said, Daddy spends on baby.
She goes, well, I'm not really. I don't make that much money. I only make about $1,000 a week, and I got bills. And she said, I spend about $50 a week. I'm like, what? On what? She said, on hand lotion. I said, where are you putting this lotion? They said, well, don't answer that question. Just don't even answer that question. I don't want to know. That's just like, just don't want to know.
That's it.
Well, and I can understand that. I mean, some of them states are really harshly dry. I mean, LA is not really all that humid itself. It's pretty dry.
Does it rain a lot in Seattle?
Seattle is about the same level as London, England. It is about the same amount of cloudy and rainy.
Oh, in Seattle, it rains like a bitch in Seattle.
They have the highest suicide rate in the whole country, right?
The highest suicide rates on the planet, along with
who has the highest? Man, ask your little computer there.
Serious.
Well, I think it's Bangor, Maine is on the same. It's on the same parallel.
No, ask your thing, man.
They all have
dark here.
The weather. It's always gray and mucky and rainy.
I don't have Siri in here. I didn't bring her in with me tonight. She's in the other room, Dan. And Alexa's in the other room too.
You start talking about suicides on your Siri, she's gonna call 911 on you.
Hey Robert, how you doing? It's who I don't know. I just read recently about that too. We were talking about on some other show about the suicide rate.
Higher for men than women, of course.
We could take a guess. What do y'all think? Delaware? Nah. New York?
No, Seattle is
Illinois.
New York is where?
Seattle.
Illinois, probably a good one.
It's Seattle.
I don't doubt Seattle's way. Seattle went from being a beautiful city in our country to a piece of shit. And look, Seattle Indians, you don't bitch at me because I have too many friends there, and y'all are bitching way too much. Every friend I have in Seattle is a liberal, and every one of them is bitching. It's matter of fact, a lot of them are thinking about moving. And Portland, it doesn't seem to be much better these days. And Portland was another nice city.
Montana has the highest suicide rate, believe it.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. Alaska, Wyoming, New Mexico.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Who wants to live in any ugly states?
What methods?
All right, why did we get so quiet for right now?
I don't know. I think somebody. I think Jay was having his alien baby. So
huge problem, suicide, man. You don't even mean
it was break time.
It's getting worse.
Oh wait, you know what I was doing? I was actually looking for the.
Oh yeah, it is coming up on break time, and there is a very cool Led Zeppelin song in the private chat queue.
Oh, now, man, let me see if I see private chat anywhere.
How about Missouri? LOL, Missouri and Kansas too.
Kansas is like hell, man.
I mean,
yeah, but some places like remote places, people are like they get cabin.
Our friend is in the room, Amelia.
Hey, Amelia.
Hi, Amelia.
Who?
Amelia.
Who? I don't know no Amelia. Who the fuck y'all talking about, Amelia?
That Amelia.
Oh, the porn chick. Oh, okay.
The food porn
y'all should say the porn chick. The porn queen. Oh yeah, the food porn queen. Yeah, y'all should tell me who it is. You know, Amelia. I was like, who the fuck is Amelia, man? Who the hell is that?
The food porn girl? I never heard of that one before, Jay.
Oh, you never heard of food porn girl? What are you talking about? That's Amelia.
In her kitchen.
Oh, she thought this was a pre-record.
No,
Amelia is the queen of food porn. Look, they should be. It's outrageous, man. Oh my god. Anytime she sends you like more than 3 pictures, you have to go find something to fucking eat. I'm not kidding you, man. It's ridiculous. So you know that. I mean, look, you gotta take my word for it. Other people, she sends other people food porn.
I've seen her pictures of her food. Oh my god.
You can go, baby. We're in a really weird mood tonight, so you might not want to be in here. You might burn your little ears.
Yeah, we got a whole another hour to go.
And you already missed. You already missed when we were talking about Canadians earlier. So
you don't know what we were talking about.
And what was his name? Pedophile Pootie. Is that the guy taking over?
Amelia saying
Pootie the pedophiles.
Especially when Joe pisses me off.
You can jump in the studio in StreamYard and come in the studio, Amelia.
Come on in, Amelia. Well, you got an open invite.
Are you feeling better, baby? I know because we was talking. I sent you that the other day, checking on you. See, I actually check on her when she don't feel good.
Oh, I'm sorry you're feeling sick still.
Rita Bella.
Anyway, where the hell were we? I lost complete track of where we were. Who in the audience knows what the fuck we were just talking?
Because Amelia came in and she's more interesting than all of us.
Oh no, I was getting ready. I was going to get a song. That's what
talking about her.
I was actually going to put a song on. That's what I was doing. Anyway, somebody sent me some Led Zeppelin. I ain't sure which one it is, but we're gonna pop it up on the screen right here, right quick, and
we're taking our break, right?
And we're taking our break, and we'll be back in. Well, it says 6 minutes. We won't make it that long, but just keep an ear out for us. How's that? I'm just trying to help out everybody.
Break time. Oh, dear.
You got it right, the immigrant song. Oh, Joe, put the immigrant song on after this. Immigrant song. Come on.
And snow from the midnight sun where the hot springs flow. Hammer of the gold will drive our ships to new land. Fight the whole, sing and cry. Valhalla, I am.
Hell, this maybe should be the opening song for News and Flipside.
So green, the whispered tales of yore, of how we calm the tides of war. We are your overlord. Always see that we love. I want to know what makes the rest that show. So now you better stop, rebuild all your ruins, for peace and trust can win the day, despite of all your losing.
Oh man, I want to hear this on top of the ice bands as they're pulling up. Oh yeah, man, he should have this blaring on top of every ice van as he's pulling up to get people, man. You know, back in the old days when they used to use sound to scare people and shit. Sounds like bliss to me.
I don't know. I don't know. I got a weird dream. Like for 4 days, I heard that's all I played was the immigrant song, and then day 4, was sleeping, and I had a dream where Vikings attacked my house. No shit, it was crazy, man. Yeah,
Norsemen who are aliens.
I'm telling you what, they attacked my house. You know, it was a crazy dream.
I was flipping through YouTube today. You know how they have those little short thingies, and someone's little short was the title was something like, I asked my AI how Vikings lived or how it would be like to be a Viking or something like that, and this is what came up with it. And they showed like these fairly realistic looking black and white or sepia tone human-sized Vikings. But then there was one like giant, like, 30-foot tall Viking in the middle with a big stick, walking around like a god with them. It was really weird.
I get weird dreams. I have weird dreams.
It's a synchronicity. Really it's a synchronicity, though. I think, Shawn. I mean, because it's just so weird. I mean, this was literally like 4 hours ago, right before we did the show. I saw that.
But let's get into this a little bit here. What about dreams? I mean, I have funky dreams. I have creepy dreams, and I was in a dream where I actually saw me die in a diner. And then I heard a woman say, "Yeah, you're dead." And then I woke up. It was like,
choke on a steak. How'd you die, man?
I don't know, dude. I was just looking at myself sitting in this diner, and I laid down my head, and I died. And I'm seeing myself die. And this lady came by and said, "Yeah, you're dead."
Who's the lady?
Don't know. It was just a voice. And I had that for 2 nights in a row. And I'm thinking, holy shit, I'm going to die and no one's going to take my spot on UPRN talk radio.
Right, and I'm gonna be bitching. I'm gonna be calling Satan, going, "Send that motherfucker back now."
I'll be dead, and who's going to tell Joe and you guys that I'm dead? And this is the shit I think of all the time. I really do. I think.
What do you mean? I will send Michelle to the fires. Hell, pull your ass out. You know she's got a personal relationship with Satan. You don't think that flaming fucking red hair is for freebie for sure, man? Don't let that fool you, buddy.
I remember one time.
Oh shit! Is Amelia still in here?
She's still
I remember one of my favorite dreams that I had. You'll like this one, Shawn. Years ago, I was still in high school. I had a dream that my friend and I, for some reason or another, we were in Washington D.C. and somehow we pissed the mob off. Somehow we came onto the mob's radar, and they chased us literally out of town. And like in the dream, I remember like I'm running, I'm looking down, and like the sidewalk eventually turns into like grass. You know, like when now we're in the woods. You know, like out in Great Falls, Maryland, or somewhere in the woods, out in the woods there, and I look back and I see one of the mobsters shoot my best friend, Jeff, shoots him, and kills him. I'm like, oh crap! So I turn on the turbo speed and start running. That's where I fall off the cliff. When I hit the ground, boom! I instantly wake up, and I'm like, damn. So the very next Monday in school, I go to my friend, I'm like, Jeff, dude, I had this dream where I was being chased by the mob and they shot you, and I fell off a cliff and died. He's like, no way, I had the same dream. I'm like, no way. But we had the exact same dream the same night, like Friday night, but he died in mine and I died in his.
It's crazy.
It was weird as hell.
Joe, Amelia says it's no longer flaming, you asshat.
Not yours. I was talking about your girlfriend. I know. I just seen her damn hair the other night. Evil that she is. I'm telling you what. What's that? What, Carol? Who are we talking about? We're talking about Michelle DeRoche, the station manager. Yeah. She's Amelia and I's friend. Yes. No, I was saying if they suck Shawn down to hell, I'd get Michelle to go down there and get him. And she'd slap Satan around. I said, well, get back, bitch. Just step back. No, she don't like to take no for an answer. Oh, hell no.
Heidi says some dreams on mine are so colorful and vivid, then so real, that it's like I really lived it. Definitely believe I've been in the astral. Oh my God, yes.
Well, it could be a waking dream too.
Well, since the movie Dream.
I mean,
I think everybody's breaking.
I think every one of us, I believe every one of us did an astral. I really believe that.
Hey, don't be calling me an asshole. Well, man, I don't like that now. We call me an asshole.
Hey, asshole. I said
asshole. There you go. Look at that. Goddamn, oh, man.
Asshole. I said astral.
It's all Leah's
fault. Have any of you guys seen the movie Dreamscape?
No.
I think you should watch it. And I've watched it several times. And the premise of the movie is they get these psychics that have the ability to read people's minds just, artificially or not artificially, but, superficially. Enough to at least be scam mans and scam artists with it. The premise is that they go into people's dreams to get information like spies and or kill them in their dream, in the dream that they have. They believe that the wives' tale is if you dream you die in real life. So they're trying to create these dream assassins. They go into people's dreams, steal the information, and then kill the guy. Well,
I am a gift. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think it's really true that the wives' tale where you die in your dream you die. But it does help you to as a part of the program to become a spy and a dream spy, they teach the guys how to control the dreams that they go into. So having watched the movie, I think I can kind of control my dreams to the fact where if it gets too scary for me, I just think of something that overwhelms whatever is in the dream. Like let's say I'm fighting Godzilla. Well, a good Godzilla on my side comes in and eats him. Boom, movie over. So I do believe that you can do that kind of thing. Like you can materialize anything you want in your dream. It's yours. Your brain is in control.
God only knows when Star Trek invades your mind during your dreams.
No, I'm constantly. I'm like, there's a space. Yeah,
dream weaving is
Superman. I've dreamt I'm Spider-Man. I'm constantly. Sometimes I'll go to night and I'll think, oh, I'm going to dream tonight. I'm Spider-Man, or I'm the Incredible Hulk tonight.
Yes. But dream weaving should be taught in school. It really should be.
Yeah. Why is that, Joe?
Because it changes your life so much. So I stumbled across it by accident back when I was in my pre-teens. I used to have these wickedly horrid nightmares. I couldn't sleep. I don't know what they were. I just couldn't sleep.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
And
about.
I'd be asleep, up, down, sleep. So at the time, Star Trek had just went into reruns. So I started watching it, and then what I would do is before I go to bed, I'd just try to play an episode of it in my head, just backwards through my head, just something to watch while I was falling asleep, so I wouldn't be thinking about whatever it was. And then I realized that I could actually change the outcome of the dream by just thinking things. By the time I was in my teens, I'd gotten quite well at it. I had learned quite a bit about how to manipulate my dreams, how I wanted them. Today, I used to teach dream weaving for, like 18 years. It's something, because once you understand that you can master even any horror dreams, right as you hit the horror moment where you're breathing hard and you're screaming or whatever, once you teach your brain to see, like the other night I was having a nightmare, my brain just kicked in and instantly tamped it out and moved it back and gave me back control of it by wiping out whatever was there. There's waking dreams,
cognitive.
Lucid dreams are a form of waking dreams as well, though.
Nothing beats. Amelia's right. Nothing beats a good Italian food right now.
Oh man, look at these people! Don't kid me. I mean, he started on food. What is wrong with you, Shawn? Reach you next to him, slap his ass.
She knows you just came off Arthur's throat. You haven't ate yet.
Slap, dude. Slap, man. No slap. Oh my God, a meatball
she's gonna burn in hell, yeah. Y'all don't know she's gonna burn.
Provolone.
I know. Look at this description she gives you. She's gonna burn. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all can't see this. Wait, pop it up on the screen.
Are you mad at me?
Yeah, go. Now you can see what she's torturing us with. And for the people, what do you mean? We talk about anything in the show. Have you not heard the description of this show? This show is about nothing and everything.
Right.
So God knows what's in between. There's a lot of stuff in between nothing and everything. I'm just saying. Like next week, the show is going to be all about Leah
and Infinity.
Yeah,
yes, Leah. We're going to talk about Leah the whole entire show.
Infinity and beyond.
And how we can send.
You know what? I keep telling people, our show, the chat, we're like The View. Okay, we're like The View.
Slap Shawn. Dexter, you're asking for it, buddy.
Really degrading, man.
I know, man. Dexter's asking for it, man.
Well, Shawn's definitely whooping if we are.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You whooping in, buddy.
I'm whooping, and Joe could be Sonny hosting me.
Oh, no, I can't be Sonny. That's Jay's job. That's Jay's job. Jay's going to be Sonny. I'm not dramatic enough to be.
Nah, you need someone brainless. We don't have that.
I'll take that crazy bitch Joy's job. Oh, who's Leah going to be? Oh, no, maybe we'll let Leah be Joy. Me and Mike and I'll just be the two that switch out all the time.
Sonny Holston blamed the eclipse on global warming, so that's what I tell you.
Oh, God, she's an idiot.
How just dumb they
are.
She's
fired now, right? Isn't she gone? I mean, she's Adios Amigos, and she's being sued by Millennia for $150 million.
Shawn watches
she's getting sued. She's getting sued by Fetterman too. Yeah, she's getting sued by Fetterman.
Looks like Sonny's going to be broke and living in the street. You ever heard the song "Was Born in the Ghetto"? I might have to play that for her tonight.
All right, go, Amelia.
How's Mini Me feeling? She feeling good? Amelia's got a Mini Me, yeah. That's what I call her. She's probably badder than her mama now. It's what's a Jesse? Don't use that stupid nickname, Jesse Waters. I ain't gonna answer you now. So where were we? Oh, no more food. Okay, we're out of the food. We're not talking about. No, we're not out of dreams yet. We can talk a little bit more about dreams. So I always found dreams interesting because I do use them sometimes. Like it's like vacation time. You can kind of pre-program what you want to think about before you go to bed. I've also used them a lot of times to help me with work and stuff like that. Even with the station, sometimes help me. Or if I'm stumped on a particular project when I'm working for one of the orgs I work with, I'll use them for that. And but it's more than that because most people don't realize how many times your dreams are invaded nightly. See, so most people think you just lay down and go to sleep and the whole time you're sleeping, everything in your head is yours, but that's not true.
No,
There's
it
lots of stuff coming in and out of your head. Now, before we even talk about any kind of like human interference, just unless you live way out in the country where it's absolutely completely quiet, because any noise is
Or
like
you wear
cricket
a
noise.
tinfoil hat.
Yeah, any groups of noises do things. Here our house is really quiet, so it's more like the from the inside of the house, the white noise, which is really weird too. Of course, and my dog's moving around and farting and scratching and biting and yelping and stuff. Uh, your dogs. So you get stuff like that, but all that gets incorporated what's inside your head. And then there's people, some intentional, some not intentional. Where you went, Marilyn? Uh, some people are intentionally. Sometimes it's just misguided anger towards you, but if they're a latent telepath or a latent empath, they may push that emotion into your head or even draw something out of your head.
Let me
If
ask
there's
you
someone with abilities, okay.
well, let me ask you this question, Joe. This is for you. That old wives' tale: when you can't sleep at night, somebody is actually dreaming about you or thinking about you. What do you think of
Well,
that?
anything is possible, but and our lives are so chaotic today, it's hard to really, it would be hard to authenticate it. I would think in the old days it might have been possible if because sometimes you can sense things before they happen at
I've
the
done
moment
that,
it happens.
Robert. I've done that, Robert.
Yeah.
Yes.
It might have been the gabagool before you went to
Yeah.
bed, man.
Where's the goddamn toilet in this place? Damn it!
No, seriously, he's right.
Yeah, I've had it. Yeah, I'm there.
Or sitting next to your bed staring at you. Yeah, Heidi.
It's just so once you're aware that there are interferences and you start to train yourself that there are interferences, you can take a much greater control over what goes your dreams. Now, in all fairness, I've never believed that you should take over complete control, because it is kind of a release and it helps you to work through problems. But you want to control them enough so that, especially if you've been having problems sleeping, or if you've been having problems with types of dreams that won't allow you to sleep, whatever they could be, because there's a whole realm of dreams that can keep you up. You'll be able to control those at a much better rate. And also it helps you to control if you want to smoke, sex, drugs, alcohol. It allows you to improve all of those because you can probe that into it at night, and in the back of your head every night is being probed in. It just gets worked into your subconscious. So one day you look down at the drink and you know what, I'm not really that thirsty, or I need a cigarette. No, you know what, I really don't need a cigarette. Before you know it, you're down to a quarter pack a day, 2-3 cigarettes a day. That's why they use a lot of positive hypnosis for this stuff, and you can use a combination of dream therapy and hypnosis and really wipe these out without the burden it is. Because quitting smoking's a bitch for people. For me, it wasn't, but it for a lot of people, it really is.
I just did it.
All right, Joe, let me ask you this. So I have a lot of questions about this. How about the times when you're in a very good dream and you got to wake up because you got to go pee, and then you go back to sleep and you try to get back into that dream, but you can't? But if you're
you should never try to get back into the dream.
Yeah.
Because if you don't try, it'll probably reset on its own. Try and just pushes it away. The harder you try, the further away you're pushing it. So you're not going to get it. As far as nightmares, depending on the type of nightmare, and I know exactly what you're talking because I've had it help myself. You wake up, you walk through it. So a wake up, a pee, and sit back is not enough to clear a nightmare. A wake up, walk to the kitchen, get a drink, take a peek out the window, look at a couple of things, come back where you're still on the edge of sleep is enough, because you've distracted your mind enough that it's moved on from it. But a bad nightmare is not that easily you can't just jump. It's just not going to let you just jump away from it.
Yeah, whether you're having a bad dream or a good dream, if you get up to pee during it, you should at least drink about 8 ounces of water before you try to even go back to sleep. But
yeah, always keep it.
If you don't think about that exact dream, it should restart as you go back to REM sleep. But if it doesn't, well, you might have it again.
Some bad ones can stick with you for like
some bad ones can stick with you.
They can stick with you.
Too.
And that's another thing Dream Weaving can help you with, because
you know what's messed up though? It's the feeling that it's not just the dream; it's the feeling that it either you experienced during the dream or that it gave you. You know, it's emotional, man. So it makes you think of the depth of it all.
No, that's why it's important to be able to take control of your dreams.
Well, you know what? There's an old trick, man. You take a head of iceberg lettuce, you boil it, right? And then you boil it down for like 30, 40 minutes or whatever. You take the water, and that's tea. You drink that tea because it's got this lettuce seed in there, and that's a dream suppressor in a way. It helps you sleep better. It's natural. It's not some pill. So a lot of people do that. It's old ancient method.
Heidi has a question. Have you ever woke up with that fight or flight feeling?
No, but I have woken up with my face directly on the ceiling.
Huh?
We all have weapons next to our beds, so I don't think
the ceiling was here.
I don't think that.
Oh no, we wake up every morning with fight or flight, buddy. Martha's sitting right next to me, going, "Dad, are we going hunting
today?" So fight or flight is like okay.
I know what you mean, Heidi. She says I would suddenly wake up wide awake, planning and plotting how I would flip over and catch whoever was there. I've done that.
Well, Heidi, okay. So more than likely, Heidi, you need to go to www.icar1.com, and there's some forms that you should read and then fill out. Because more than likely, I know what's causing your dreams.
I wake up, somebody's like saying like first and last name, and like I actually write it down. It happens so many times. You research the person, there's nobody there, whatever. I don't know. It's crazy, but who knows? But we don't think about it. We don't watch a lot of content, movies, TV shows, all of our lives.
Because we don't have time of it.
We were grown up. We were the TV generation. I mean,
hey, man, I grew up with
information in there. There's a lot of information in there.
I don't know junk y'all grew up. I grew up with
what you're doing during the day. If it's a dream, trying to straighten stuff out in your life, or if it's a visitation dream, man. There's lots of people that got relatives visit them. The twilight dreams, or lucid dreaming, like just before you wake up or just after you go to sleep. In that zone, there's a zone in there where people get approached, and they have full conversations with their loved ones, friends, or whatever who have passed.
Who's drinking lettuce?
You can't discount that either. People would ask me how they can have that kind of experience, like reaching out with all the paranormal stuff. I tend to say just really think about that person and the good moments, the good times you've had. Maybe take a personal affect to bed with you that you got, maybe.
You gave me an idea. Next Saturday, we need to have a seance on this show.
Especially holidays and birthdays and any kind of landmark date is a good time to do it,
Yeah, I think we're going to do a seance next Saturday, and I'm even going to invite the mother of the person we're going to do the seance on.
We'll have Stephanie come in. She'll be like, "Joe."
Well, I'm going to invite her mom, Joanne, and say, "Why don't you come over?"
She used to call me 4:00 in the morning and offer me sex and Chinese food. You know what I mean? That's
come on, sex and Chinese food, man.
That is full service. That's Staten Island special, man. The Chinese food.
She was a good cook, man.
I'd be like 4 hours away. The Chinese food place would be closed.
Amelia says she's telling on you, Joe.
What? That she was a good cook. She is a good cook.
My girlfriend would ask me, "Who's calling you 4:00 in the morning?" I'm like,
Matter of fact, it's funny. It's funny she came up because last night I was talking about her and Michelle, and we had I was talking with who was anyway? We don't need to get into who I was with, but
Stephanie was a bull. She was a bull. Hey, I got a picture of her. Should I send it to you, man?
Yes. We post it up on the thing.
Amelia's saying no.
How can I post it? I can't post it.
I don't have the rights. Share screen. Share screen.
I don't have the rights. No.
So anyway, we were talking about the vision of the station. We were actually on air talking about this. We were talking about the vision of the station when Stephanie was the manager and what she did and how she was and who she was and how she punched Michael out and shit like that. And she's
sexy monster, man.
She was insane compared to the woman who runs the station today.
That picture, that's the one when she gave him 2 pops. Bam, bam. She tried to tell him something twice. He didn't listen. He got 2 black eyes as a result.
Well, Michelle's a much better people person, and she's got a much better, clearer view of where she wants to go.
Well, Michelle's not crazy.
Let's not get carried away now, man. Now, come on now. Let's not get carried away now. I don't know about all that fun. I love her and all, but I don't know.
There's a difference.
Steph wasn't crazy. Steph was insane.
She was at war. You know what? She was at war with the world for whatever reason. She was a warrior.
She was haunted. She was something haunted Stephanie. I don't know what it was, but something what haunted that girl hard. She had everything she could wanted. She was financially secure. She had her home. She had actually control over her family's money. She was the manager of the station. She could do it, go and come, but she just couldn't help herself. She had to get in a fight with somebody every day. She just couldn't help it. And then in the end, what killed her, she refused to take her meds. Doc said, all you have to do is take this one pill a day. You'll live to be, 80 years old. Nope. She just couldn't do it. It's just one of them things. It happens, people. It's one of them things. Oh no, she died. It's been 5 years, I think now. So it's been a while, and maybe even 6. No, you're thinking of Laura Lee. No, Laura Lee's son passed away 2 days ago.
Yeah, that's sad.
We're all sad to see that. Yes, that's who you're talking about. Yeah,
he was young, man.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he's 27. No. When she's coming back, I'll let you know. Yeah, she's on his
on the other night.
No, no. Those are pre-records or reruns.
Oh, okay.
I told her, and I know Michelle told her the same thing. Just take as much time as you need. And yeah, she's been a loyal host since she's been on the network. Yes, she does a good job. She hosts 2 shows.
Mm-hmm. I sent it to you, Joe, on Facebook Messenger.
No, let me see. I might have it on this computer. Let me see. I don't know what Facebook I have opened on this computer. What's that, Jimmy Lee?
Hey, Tony Sabellas. Good to meet you, brother. Good to have you on.
Hey, Anthony, how's it going?
Yeah, we've been having a lot of people come and go. Well, I'm looking for a picture Mike sent me.
Mike, send it to me and I can put it up.
Oh, Steve, you mean last night? Oh, yeah, we did get a little carried away with the lefties losing their shit. And speaking of that, where's Amelia? Amelia, what's his poop in his pants? What's his name? Poo poo pants guy? The new guy. Damn. I need something. We need something with him just on like a 4-minute rant. Because I heard him the other night. He was ranting about what he was going to do, and then when Trump told him he'd help him with the pipelines, the guy's pants almost fell off.
They're all coming in. Doing? Oh, my buddy. Hey,
come on in, hang out with us.
Good night,
Sean's talking dirties. It's a good night.
Holy Bear.
There she is. That's Miss Benetti. Miss Stephanie Benetti. She was definitely something else.
She's awesome.
Actually, if you look around, there's on the home sites, there's a couple of pictures of her and I as cartoons.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Amelia.
And she could cook, man. And she was like this unbelievable, amazing cook. Like she really went off.
Good cook.
Tomato sauce and all that. She
was a food porn princess. Amelia's got the food porn queen.
Amelia's the food porn queen. You see the stuff.
But she was up there, man.
Amelia's the reigning champion.
She would send me pictures with all the ingredients on her stove, and then she'd put them all in, do all the cooking, and she'd send me pictures, and she'd send me pictures of the after product. I'd be like, bitch, stop it. I'm trying to lose weight.
When I made my spaghetti bolognese, I modeled the way I did it the way she does. She does it step by step. These are the ingredients. And then you open up the ingredients, you cut them up. Look, then you cook them, then you do this. And it's the best way.
She really had a lot to her life.
I need a good lasagna recipe. Do you have one, Amelia? I need a good lasagna recipe.
I have the meat recipe for the lasagna. I don't know how to do the noodles part, but
I got a good manicotti recipe.
Manicotti.
Oh yeah, manicotti.
I had
manicotti.
I had deer meat spaghetti.
I've had that. I've had deer meat spaghetti, deer sausage spaghetti. Oh man, we eat a lot of deer.
Oh my god, yes, deer meat, perfect. Oh my god,
it's what do you mean?
Thank you, Amelia. If you want to send it,
you mean Shawn? Yeah, Shawn killed Bambi. I'm bad, Shawn. He's Dexter. What did you expect? It's Bambi and Dexter together. I mean, what did you really expect, people? You put Dexter with a baby fawn, and it became. I don't know what to tell you. It became sausage. That's all I can tell you. It's just sausage. What do you mean? I love deer meat. I don't know what the hell y'all talking about. I only gave up hunting when I was younger because I kind of felt guilty. It's just
way to go, Mark.
I like that one, Mark. I like that one, buddy.
I know. You could buy deer meat in the South. You can buy it at
I would
any
eat tacos every
slaughterhouse.
day. I don't care what day of the week it is. Tacos are my favorite.
Oh my God! I knew he was wearing one of them rainbow
That's
shirts.
me with pizza, man. I could eat pizza every day. Pizza is like a superfood.
Hey, look, combine the two: taco, pizza. Maggie's Pizza and Washington D.C. on Connecticut Avenue.
All right, I'm going to find a copy for this.
Give me my oodles and noodles fried up in freaking like 2 pounds of butter. Throw some Parmesan cheese on that bad boy and go to town, dude. Go to town.
So let me ask you: when you do noodles, what do you do? Throw them in a pot with some salt and water and let them cook?
Yeah, and then after they're done cooking, you drain it. And then you throw it in a frying pan and cook it in like 2 pounds of butter.
First off, when you drain your noodles, you should have a chunk of butter in there. 1, it helps them from sticking to it, gets rid of some of the starch, which you want to do anyway. 3, it adds a lot of flavor. You can also add a little bit of garlic and a little bit of Parmesan, a little salt and pepper right there. That you could eat that shit by itself. I'm telling you, you can eat it by itself. It's almost like making a fettuccine, because that's all a fettuccine really is pasta with cheese on it. It's what it's
usually a flat.
It's a flat of pasta.
Usually, not a round.
Yeah. But I mean,
when
they make it a recipe.
Alfredo sauce though, which is mono cheese with butter. There's no cream.
Dia's good.
That man,
I'm telling you guys, awesome. you gotta let me send you my bolognese.
Sweet dreams, Amelia.
You'll love it.
Nighters, Amelia.
It's
See you, Amelia.
Darren, what do you mean? Oh no, deer. So first off,
venison.
All right. So if y'all really want to know, if you really that interested, so when I used to hunt back in the day, so real quick, stupid story, just tells you how goofy I was when I was in my 30s. I'm out with some friends of mine. I wasn't even in my 30s. I was in my 20s. I'm out with some friends of mine, and we're in JS, Mississippi. And we're coming back from the store. Mississippi's back then had dry counties. Well, it still does. So we had to drive somewhere else to go get some beer and some liquor. So we're driving. On the way back, we see these 4 deer jump the road, go into the woods, and stop at the Q-beam out. Yeah, so Q-beam's out. So I couldn't see him. So I grabbed the 30-30 and I was walking at a 30-30 Bushmaster lever action. I'm walking through the woods, and boom, your boy just stood up with his green eyes, and I went pop, pop. I heard him fall. Well, as soon as I heard him fall, I heard a truck start up on the hill. The guy's coming down, look to see if somebody was hunting on his property. So my boy left. He took off down the road. I'm laying back there with the deer. I got the deer holding the deer down with both of our faces facing away from the road because the guy's running up down the road with a Q-beam, looking to see if he sees anything. Finally, he goes back in. My Glenn comes back. We get it. We drag it out to the truck. We throw it in the truck, and we haul ass. Yeah, it was about a 4-point buck. Nice and pretty little deer. Really, really tender. By the time I pulled it out of the truck and set it down, I went inside to change. I came back out. Glenn and his brother already had it on the A-frame, gutted out, and had the backstrap cut and frying in the pan. That tenderloin. Oh, that tenderloin was fucking fabulous.
Oh, man, the backstrap. Oh, my God.
Oh, man, it was just fabulous. So anyway, the deer there are fed. They eat mushmelon, cantaloupe, and soybean. That's their diet. That's what they eat. So the meat is tender. It's juicy. It's lean. It's just, oh, my God. It's deer, people. It's good for you.
That's good meat, man.
I think she's allergic to deer.
Yeah.
Oh man, look at Jay's cat. She's a pretty cat, but I think it's evil. It's an evil cat.
Nah.
It's a green. All black cats with green eyes are just familiars.
Christy Bailey, good to see you, hon. She says, "Bless you, kitty. Bless you, kitty."
She's had the sniffles, and she has green eyes too. She's not evil.
Look how evil that look, man.
Yeah, ow, she's biting me. So okay, yeah, I guess she is evil.
So
tell her she's not even. She said, "Bitch, watch this." But you know, to answer a question I seen a minute ago that I missed in my messenger, dreams are just most of the times dreams are manifest things that you've been experiencing through your life. But there are some rules to dreams. Like, did you know you can never dream about a face you've never seen? Figure that one out. Because you know when you say that, people always tell me, "Oh no, I've dreamt about faces I haven't seen." Yeah, I know, but you haven't. You can never dream about a face. There's certain things you can't actually dream about, It's just a combination of things your brains put together.
Next time you're dreaming, to make sure you're dreaming, look at the newspaper.
Crispy.
Try to read the newspaper. Try to listen to the television.
And that's another thing. Always be aware of your surroundings. Listen to the paper. Listen to the radio. Look at the newspaper. If you're in a car, reach up, turn the radio on, do whatever it is. Get an idea of your surroundings, because all of that means something. Why you're there, how come you're there, what place are you actually in. Also helps you to understand if it's just a waking dream or a lucid dream. Because a waking dream is close to a lucid dream, but waking dreams is what I like to call the start of a lucid dream. It's when you are consciously awake in your dream, and there are things around you that are going on, but you haven't really experienced the lucid part yet, where you're picking up familiars from other places and times.
Christy Bailey wants to know, how do you know that, Joe?
Because I've experienced it, but I also teach it for, like I said, almost 20 years. We did all kinds of research on this back in the late 80s and early 90s. We spent a lot of time and a lot of money on just figuring out
about the faces, dude.
Oh, that's actually science study. That was actually scientific. Your brain. So what happens is, when you look at the four of our faces up here, you can dream about them, but you can also dream about combinations of these four faces put together. You can mix the eye colors, the nose sizes, the chins, but it's still the same faces. It's like AI. AI can only learn from what it's seen. It can't actually make itself up. Well, we're the same way. So we can extrapolate from anything that we experience or see, but it's still something we've experienced before somewhere along the line. Yeah, that's actually scientific study. That was put out in several colleges and peer reviewed in the whole 9 yards. That was even, and I had a hard time with that for a long time. I'm like, no way, they're full of shit. I can't tell you how many times I said that on air. But over the years, I've realized that it is true. And there are other things that you are limited to when you're dreaming. People always tell me, if you die in your dream, you're not going to wake up. Well, that's not true either. I know people who died in their dreams. And
I did.
Yes, Shawn did. So,
several times, but I woke up every time.
No, I mean, it was crazy, because what I do is, and this is the truth, I have my Juul cigarette right next to my bed, and I was grabbing for it. I was grabbing for it, right? And I couldn't touch it. I could not touch my Juul cigarette. It was really creeping me out. I really thought I was dead, that I died.
You went astral or ethereal, dude.
Scared the shit out of me, man.
And even if you're in your dream, if you dream that you go to touch, I mean, even in your dream, you should be able to interact with things you normally would interact with, like a cigarette lighter or an e-vape cigarette or anything, but if you pass through it and the table that it's sitting on, that's like a different type of dream altogether. You're like,
Do you ever have beer meat?
You're partly immaterial at that point, I would think.
Do you ever have beer meat?
Bear? No,
I haven't. I hear it's really, really lean. How about you?
I've had emu, which was a very purple meat, and it was way better.
I don't know. I really like. Maybe it's because it's a predator, and I don't like eating predators. But before anybody asks, I don't like eating predators because we're predators. It's no. I've eaten all kind of stuff, and there's not many of the meats I have. I had a chance to try monkey brains one time, and I had to pass. Not because it grossed me out, because actually it kind of intrigued me to see what it tasted like. Because everybody who tried it said it was fabulous, and
I got one for you, and I tried it. Have you ever heard? It's down in Singapore, Vietnam. It's called Baloo. It's where they bury goose eggs.
Yes, yeah, Baloo.
Oh yeah.
They bury goose eggs in the sand for 6 months. Then they pull it out and they eat it. Yes.
It's not just a goose egg. It's a partially fertilized. It's a partially grown goose inside the egg.
I was so drunk when I ate that. Oh my God.
I'd have to be starved for a week or on the verge of death to have to eat.
Oh, it was terrible, man. It was terrible.
Yeah, I've eaten rattlesnake, and I've eaten two kind of snakes actually. Neither one. Neither one was that bad, to be honest with you. I I've had a couple of different kind of insects, including scorpion.
Ew, I haven't had that. I've had chocolate covered cricket and chocolate covered ants.
I've had both in there.
You put into the cricket, all the insides goo out.
Well, the ants are like you hardly even know they're in there.
Yeah, it's like
the cricket is squishy, gushy, nasty.
It's nasty.
It pops. Whoa. Actually, it pops when you bite into it.
It's like a nasty goo. You don't even. It's like.
No, it's not as bad on me because I'm used. It's not as bad on me because I'm used to sucking the guts out of crawfish heads, so it's a little less. But it's still kind of nasty. I'm not gonna lie to you. And
it ain't natural. That's for damn sure.
It's, what do you mean, alligator?
All right, Cindy.
Okay, first off,
yeah, that's a good one, Cindy.
It's
no wonder you quit drinking, Shawn.
Yeah, eating them
so whoever posted a thing about alligator. No, we eat alligator regularly down here.
Does that taste like chicken?
Fouillé, man, fouillé.
No. Does it? I hear it
alligator tail. No, alligator tail is like blue crab. It tastes more or less like whatever you cook it with. It's very delicate. It's very white. It's very flaky. Even if you eat it just cooked in some butter, it just has a really mild flavor. It's really healthy for you. It's great for making stuffings, especially if you're making a seafood stuffing. It's fabulous for that. Because what I like to do is take some crab and some boudin and make boudin crab balls out of it and drop them in a deep fat fry. They are fabulous. Well, I try not to deep fry it. Ever since I got a stent in my heart, I try not to eat as many fatty foods, but it's still they are fabulous. And then what else is good is a alligator crawfish pizza. Oh man, that is just delicious. Well, I'm from Louisiana. People eat everything's different down here. Mm-hmm. You know what else is good? Central Grocery just opened their store back up. I can't wait to go in the store and get me a Central Garden. I want to go in the store and get me a Central Grocery muffalata with a Barks root beer and just sit at the counter and eat the whole fucking thing. They are the best.
Enjoy your dinner, Heidi. Enjoy your dinner. She's hungry because of our food.
Yes. Well, we got to look at it. It's all Amelia's fault, even though she ran ahead in the woods, a bad girl that she is. Coming here and food pouring us out and then leave.
Nothing wrong with that. Food's a good thing to talk about.
That's a food tease. I used to call it on the air all the time, an FT.
Yeah.
I said, you FT. And somebody's like, why is he calling her? I said, she's a food tease. That's why. And what was that, Donnie? No, she really is. She's a good cook. We pick on her a lot, but she's a really good cook. She cooks every motherfucking thing. Her damn stove costs as much as the front of my house.
She's amazing, man. I've seen pictures of her creations, man.
She is. God. And she likes to cook for parties too. Oh no, I think she paid like 25 G's for her stove. Yeah. How much I paid for mine? I paid about 2,500 for mine. Yeah, I got one of those Samsungs. It's that weird blue color that you can't get. You have to wait months to get your hands on. Yeah, I got my hands on it. I redid my kitchen, so I did it all in those appliances. No, they're beautiful. I think I paid, I don't know, $15.5 for all of my appliances, maybe 17. And that's double big monster refrigerator.
We also redid the floor too before you did all that.
Yeah, but that's a whole different price. But in all fairness, people, before anybody, Joe's rich, no insurance was paying for all of that. How did Joe talk? How did Joe talk the insurance company into replacing all of his appliances at 3 times what the original ones cost? Because Joe's a contractor and he knows how to get around that shit. You should always, when you negotiate with an insurance company, I know people want to do it themselves because they want to be greedy and get money. You should always have your contractor negotiate. Number one, even if they charge you 5%, you're going to still make more money than if you do it yourself. Because one, they know the prices, they know how to force the prices on the market, and they can say, well, look, you're going from when you go up for arbitration, the judge is saying, well, why should I give him more money? You say, well, here's what he's telling me a nail costs today, 2 cents, and here's what the nail actually cost today, 35 cents. So I think we need to make up the difference in the product line. After you show the judge about 50 or 60 products like that, he's kind of like, okay, give him the money. And that's just the way, because that's what they try to do. For Katrina, they were using a 1984 ledger to price on. No, man, things had doubled, almost tripled in price since then. You can't do that. So But the homeowner's not going to know that. You're just going to go, well, I think I should have $10,000. No, you should have 45. Put a perfect example. The guy comes in, looks at my house. First time he looks at it, he said, well, it's about 34. I said, 34 what? He said, what do you mean? And I said, dude, it's $84,000 in damage on the house. That's what it's going to cost me to fix it. So that's not even if I bring in a contract. It's going to be more than that. So then he sends me a check for 64. Then I send it back to him. And 2 weeks later, I get a check for 74. I send it back to him. Then he calls me. I said, dude, no. I said, I'm not going to go short because you don't want to do what you're supposed to do. So then they had to go see his supervisor. Supervisor came in. I sent him all the information. He sent me a check for 104.4. And that was the end of that fight because they can't win. And when it goes in front of arbitration, see, they push you because they know what they can get away with. Someone like me, they know I'm going to take them to arbitration. They know in front of the judge, they're not going to be able to get away with it because they're using prices that are old. And they're not keeping
they're using the price when the house was built, not now when the price.
And even if they're using current value process, say at Lowe's, from wherever they're from, they're not taking in the price of the disaster area and the up cost of doing business in the disaster area. So that has to be included in the price. And
they're probably going to have to farm the appliances in from well out of the area because if it's a natural disaster like a hurricane, any of the supply in the area has probably been destroyed by the weather.
Yeah, and then they got to have stage in places. It's a logistics nightmare, and to cost more, and so that all has to be included. The judges appreciate when you come in prepared too, and when you have to go in front of them enough, and you come in prepared every time, then they start looking at the other people like, I know this guy. Let me look at you first because I already know this guy's prepared. So let me see what you got. And I'm not kidding you. By about the 25th or 26th time I went in front of this judge, I still remember a big guy from Farm Bureau comes in. He thinks he's the shit, man. He's going to win, no problem. We're going to get. I'm just sitting there minding my own business. So he's looking over at me like waiting for me to be called. And the judge looks at him and calls me by name. He says, look, I want to start with you because he's been in my court. I already know he's got his ducks in a row. So let's see if your ducks are in a row and what kind of negotiation we can come up with here. He reads 10 minutes. He puts it down. He said, give the man the check. And the guy was going to get flipped with him. He said, you do understand I'm a judge. And if you do that, I will put you in jail. You do understand that. He said, this isn't go back to your office. This isn't anything. You know the rules of this. This is arbitration. You lost. Give the man the check. And the old lady I was doing this for, she's in the back, like almost doing cartwheels. She's like 80 years old, clapping and shit. And the judge said, if I have to tell you again, I will have you removed from my courtroom in chains. Do you understand? Then the guy got on the phone, called somebody, guy showed up a checkbook. They wrote your check, and that was the end of that.
Wow.
Because he thought he was going to razzle dazzle, and he did. He had a bunch of bullshit, but he didn't have anything that proved against what I was saying. Well, here are the prices. This is what the actual cost. And when I do labor, I always do middle market labor, like when it's on the internet, so they can't argue with you about it. If it's 50 or 80, it doesn't matter because I can make it work anyway. So you can't argue if you're the insurance company, you're trying to argue what the standard market rate is. You're not going to win on that. And if I come in and show you this is what all the prices are, you can't win that either unless you can show that I'm lying, which you can't. So it's a game, but that's a little piece of advice for all you people in LA. Use a contract. You know what? Maybe I should come out there and help y'all with insurance companies. I should spend some time out there. It's not easy. I help people doing Hurricane Sandy in New York because they were getting screwed by the dozens. I remember, matter of fact, when Stephanie sent me a thing, I said, no, you don't settle for this, or this. I said, I don't even know your prices, and this is at least 40,000 too low. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah. And she sent me everything, and I went through, made all the notes, changed it, I'll put it back, said this is what it should be. She submitted, and she got it. Most of the time, if you do it right, they're just going to give you the money because they know they can't win. It's only if they smell blood that they try to get around you. If they think they can beat you, or they don't, or they just think you're stupid. Which the average American isn't stupid; they're just not educated into that field. It's a little different down here. After your third or fourth or fifth hurricane, you kind of understand the game, but it is strange. What's that, Debbie? It doesn't matter what disaster it is. All disasters are the same when it comes to dealing with insurance companies. It's all about what they owe you. It could be a fire, it could be a flood, it could be a tornado, it could be an earthquake. It doesn't really matter. And know this, I have not met an insurance company yet, and I've dealt with every big one in the United States that offers you the correct amount first shot. Not one.
Yeah, why should they? I mean, it's their money, right? No, it's your money. You paid in, right?
Yeah, the closest I came to one was the flood people that hold the flood policy in my house, which is I think the government, and they were only $100 below what it should have been. And I called them. I said, "Well," and they said, "Oh, no problem. We'll send it to you." And that was the end of that. I almost didn't even call them because it was $100. It almost didn't seem it was worth the fight. So people pay attention. Always, and if you know a contractor, have him review. Matter of fact, I do this. I don't get as much time as I used to, but a lot of times I tell people if you're dealing with a new contractor and you just want the contract reviewed, what the work's going to be, how much it should cost, how long it should take, send it to me. Yeah, I do charge a fee, but it's not outrageous or anything, and it gives you a much bigger sense of mind, especially if you got to go to court because you had another contractor to look at it and say no. It shouldn't take you 13 weeks to do this. It should take 3, things like that. Because
I'll remember that, Joe. Thank you.
Yeah. It's just things to know.
You got to do the contractor math. At minimum, if you have them there at your house for a week, you're paying at least $5,000 at minimum. I mean, that can go anywhere it goes. So if you have someone who knows materials and time, and then knows the amount of time, like Joe was talking about, that could save you thousands or tens of thousands of dollars overall. Yeah.
And if you're good and you get the money you're looking for, sometimes you may even squeak a couple of G's in your pocket.
And you got to know your insurance policy and be able to understand it, read it and understand it. And you got to know FEMA too, because FEMA's got a lot of programs. Your state does too. The state has programs too for people get storm damage and things like that. So I mean, there's a lot of different directions to go. That's for sure.
Yeah. So it's one of those things too that now it's forced on you not only for your car, and in most cases your house, but you're now the health insurance thing. So it's a commodity we're compelled by law to have to buy. Just kind of bullshit at the same time, don't you think?
Healthcare is a mixed bag. Everybody should have it.
Did you know that you can make between 5 and 25% on your money per month passively without predicting the market, without trading experience, without...
Really not going to answer that question. So let me get on to.
Would you like to?
I do have.
It's Palm Bondi. Wait a minute. Where does this come from?
You'll have a second round. Would you like to speak before I call on Senator Cruz?
Yes,
to speak on the devil.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. General Bondi, welcome. Thank you for your long career in public service, and thank you for your
she might be my new favorite.
To take on this incredibly important office. I have to say,
Grandpa Monster.
He does
I don't know that there is a more important position
looks more like Eddie
administration than the position to which you have been nominated. Attorney General
all
of
that
the
fur
United
around
States.
his face.
I thought the exchange
Wasn't he the
just a
wolf
moment ago
kid?
with Senator Hirono was illustrative. She asked you how you would respond if the president asked you to target his political enemies. It's rather striking because it's not a hypothetical. It has happened over the last 4 years. And I think perhaps the most tragic legacy of the Biden-Harris administration has been the politicization and the weaponization of the United States Department of Justice. We don't need to ask hypothetically because Joe Biden publicly mused and allowed the New York Times to report it, calling on Merrick Garland, why will he not prosecute Trump more quickly? And Merrick Garland, sadly, he sat in that chair and promised to be apolitical, and he broke that promise almost the instant he walked into the Department of Justice.
That's right, Grandpa.
If you look on the west pediment of the Supreme Court of the United States, just above the entrance, there's a simple yet profound four-word phrase, equal justice under law. We have seen over the last 4 years a Department of Justice that systematically targeted the political opponents of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and that systematically protected his friends and allies. And it is tragic to see the loss of confidence in the American people, in the Department of Justice, and in the FBI. I would note, I don't think there's an institution in America who has lost more respect from the American people than the FBI has in the last 4 years. That is a grotesque violation of the obligation of the Department of Justice and the FBI. So I want to start with just a very simple question. If you are confirmed as Attorney General, will you pledge to fairly and faithfully uphold the law regardless of party?
So help me God.
So help
Amen.
me God.
Look, and I want to be clear for folks at home. I don't want a Republican Department of Justice. I don't want a Democrat Department of Justice. I want a Department of Justice that follows the damn law. And I think the American people do too. That shouldn't be too much to expect. Now, I'm grateful to President Trump for nominating you.
Jesus.
Do what?
I think on any objective level, you're clearly
No,
qualified.
he is. Yeah, I think it's clip's
this
like 5 or
position.
6 minutes.
You have been a prosecutor for decades.
You still ain't said what I was
You have
wanting
been
to
the
hear.
elected Attorney General of the state of Florida, the third largest state in America, for 8 years. Let me ask you,
What have you done for us lately?
in terms of your practice, how many criminal cases over the course of your career have you personally handled?
Handled thousands.
Are you DEI exclusive?
How many of those were before a jury?
Hundreds. I don't want to overstate, but hundreds. I was in a courtroom for many years. I tried 4 when I was an intern, jury trials. I think you had to try at least 20 in misdemeanor before you went to felony. Then you were in court every day. And I was also lead trial attorney for many years, trying many cases. So.
And how many of those cases would have been before a judge?
Oh, hundreds and hundreds as well, but hundreds before a jury, I would assume.
And as Attorney General of Florida, how many lawyers did you supervise roughly?
Approximately 400, Senator.
Holy
Now,
shit.
I
Yeah, I
also
think she's
want to clarify
qualified.
something. During the course of this hearing, several Democrat senators have referred to you as President Trump's, quote, personal lawyer. Now I don't believe that is an accurate characterization. As I understand it, you represented President Trump as a White House special advisor during his first impeachment trial. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Within Office of White House Counsel, yes, Senator.
And is working within the White House counsel's office different than representing Donald J. Trump individually as his personal lawyer?
Yes.
Absolutely.
How's it different?
You're working for the government. You're working for the Office of White House Counsel. You're not representing him in his personal capacity.
And so you have not represented him in his business affairs, in his personal life, or in any of the criminal trials he's
Oh,
facing.
Ted,
No,
you're giving me a
Senator.
headache, my friend.
And you know, when it comes to weaponization, it's worth noting that in more than 2 centuries of our nation's history,
Only the Democrats.
no
have done it.
president had previously been indicted. No president had previously been prosecuted until the Biden-Harris White House came along. And in the last 4 years, we've seen Donald Trump indicted and prosecuted not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4 separate times.
And 2 assassination attempts, Senator.
I have to say,
tell him,
Javert
Pamela.
Philemon is chagrined
Chagrined.
at the efforts of Democrats to do anything possible to take him down. And I believe the real target in this was not President Trump, but it was the American people, that these prosecutions were brought because partisan prosecutors were terrified that the American people would do exactly what they did in November of 2024 and vote to re-elect Donald J. Trump.
By 77.3% million Americans, 77.3 million Americans.
Will you commit every day as Attorney General to follow the law, to follow the Constitution, to uphold the rule of law without favor, and without regard to the partisan position of any
does like to hear his
criminal
voice.
defendant.
Yeah, he does.
Yes, Senator.
That's what we should all expect from an attorney general. Thank you.
Yeah, that's my new favorite now. I've always liked powerful women. She's now my new favorite. I'd be like, yes, Bundy, what can I do for you? We worship you. We worship you. See, that's the thing about powerful women. She don't have to be hot. She just has to be powerful. The rest is come off.
She's
hot and
She's
powerful.
good. She is hot and powerful.
Do you know how old she is?
She's 60. I think she's 60.
She
I
is
think she's
60 years old.
Yes, I know. She was really. She was old enough to be Jay's mama.
Gosh, I'm 58. You don't have a baby, Joe.
No, but you're 58 in cat years. That shit don't count, man.
Cat years.
Tell him, Shawn, that shit don't count. when
That's
you're 58
right. That
in
shit
cat
don't.
years, man.
No.
They're all crooks, Republicans and Democrats. Well, I'd like to argue with you, Michelle, but it's hard to argue when you're right. It's going to be interesting to watch. Okay.
Why didn't she says and why did they prosecute Nixon? Why didn't they prosecute Nixon?
Because Nixon stepped down. That's why they didn't prosecute. He stepped down from office
before they could do it, man.
No, that's not what happened. He stepped down,
allowing Ford,
and then Ford pardoned him. Yeah, Ford pardoned
his administration, and then he did one.
Ford gave him an all-encompassing pardon. They couldn't. There's nothing they could do. Ford made sure Nixon was taken care of. So that was the end of that. Instead of him, I wish he would have stood up and fought because, frankly, yeah, he moved some tapes, big fucking deal. I don't think they could have got him out of office. I don't think they had the vote.
If I'm not mistaken, the way Gerald Ford recalls it, he actually went to Ford or to Nixon and said, "Look, you make me president, and I'll pardon you. Otherwise, you're going to jail."
I was a young child when that happened, and I know all the adults around me thought it was bullcrap. That happened to Nixon.
Yeah, because
everybody did this. Everybody did that. They just didn't get caught.
Well, he was it was a 2/3. It takes 2/3 to be impeached anyway. I don't think they would have got that, to be honest with you. As far as I know, they never had.
He ended Vietnam, man.
So he did. He introduced the first space meeting in space between Russia and the United States. He opened up negotiations with China. He did a lot of stuff.
Disability Act is him. You know what I mean? Like people think that the guy was just hardliner, and he wasn't.
They just, he got screwed, but he should have. He just panicked. He should have just said, "No, I'm gonna fight it."
He showed his best friend from Hollywood some of the UFO secrets.
I'm not a crook.
But I'm not a crook. Yes, I'm not. With his two fingers up in the air all the time, doing the peace signs. I'm thinking, dude, but he did end. He ended Vietnam, which was a good thing right off the bat. What was that, Kirby? He was actually a good president. The economy was good. Things were stable. Wars were ended. We were going to space. We were doing what we were supposed
to. Secret bombings in Cambodia. But I'll tell you something. When you need to get something done, you need to get it done. And the more politically correct you are, the more you won't get it done because it weighs in the favor of those weak type of people that will take advantage of you. You just need to get it done. You need to take action first and get it done. So good. That's why I'm voting for Joe Montaldo for president of the United States.
Not me, buddy. You ain't getting me in that shitty job.
After Trump, man. Come on.
So I think presidents should make $5 million a year to start off with, not 800,000 or $1 million.
No, they get like 404. What, 4.25?
No, I think they doubled it now. I don't know. I remember something. I remember hearing something. It was 450, and then it was 8. I don't know. Maybe
they get half of that after they retire for life.
But Trump donates it, so it doesn't matter. He doesn't take a salary.
Yeah. How much does the president of the United States of America get paid?
$800,000.
Christy, I'll give you one question. We get ready to go. Krispy Kreme from New Jersey. You're funny.
$400,000 per year.
Chris. So how much does a senator make?
Depends.
Krispy Kreme.
Like Pelosi, she was what she get $260, something like that, and then she gets half that salary forever. But she's pretty old.
Well, they did so much insider trading, they don't need the money. So Krispy Kreme from New Jersey, what you got for us? What do you think? You Governor Crispy now? Are you really Governor Christmas? Yeah, well, I don't believe you. But anyway, what's your question? Well, come on, Cam. I'll send you a link. You can come on Cam and get up in here with us, big boy, and you can prove you're Governor
So
Christmas.
senators make $174,000 per year.
That's not.
Which isn't really that's not a lot because they have to flip for an apartment.
Paid out monthly.
They have to flip for an apartment in DC.
That's it.
Real estate in DC is unbelievable. Apartments for rent. I mean, a lot of these guys are sleeping in their office.
Board, so you don't have to pay.
Yeah, so a lot. Yeah, Jay's right. A lot of that stuff the government pays for. A lot of
you get free room and board. You get paid $400,000 a year monthly, plus a $50,000.
No. They've got to pay for their own apartment. They've got to pay for their own apartment, man. I would just get like a mobile home and put it like a Lincoln Memorial, right? Whatever memorial you got, I'll put one.
I would definitely, with one of my years of pay, if I got the presidency, I'd have them build me at least a bulletproof, RV that I could take to rock concerts with my friends after I get out.
So we're getting ready to get out of here. The inauguration is Monday. I may be on air Monday. I'll never know, man, because it's gonna be freezing cold, so I might not be going anywhere. I'll be waiting for that fucking Yankee snow to come down.
Might have to go live, man, because
you know what I'm gonna do, man. I'm gonna stick that shit in a snow globe thing and shoot it back up north to you motherfuckers. Take your damn snow.
We won't even notice.
Damn snow,
we wouldn't even know.
I know that's the fucking problem. I wouldn't notice. I'd be like, yeah, send it on back.
There's already 2 feet on the ground. We're gonna get 2 more feet.
They'd be like, yeah, throw it up here. We don't give a shit like we care.
How much are you supposed to get, Shawn?
It's not so much the snow, it's going to be the ice. Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday, it's going to be like -7. And Wednesday is going to be like -2.
Well, y'all going to get ice then. Y'all ain't going to get no fucking snow.
Oh, no, we'll get snow with
Monday, it. -2 to 2 degrees on Tuesday. And we're supposed to get snow sometime tonight or tomorrow night.
I've already been below 0 a few times, so it is what it is.
Okay. That's Dumb, Dumber, and Dumbest. That's what I'm going to change y'all's name to. I'm going to put the temperature next to each of y'all's name and put Dumb, Dumb, and Dumbest.
I lived in Lake George, man.
And then when hurricanes come next season, y'all can put it next to mine.
I stayed in Lake George in the winter, man, back in the day. I was there for like 6.5 months. And I'll tell you, especially February, 15 below during the day, 30 below at night. I've seen 45 below was the coldest, man, at night. So, yeah, you're living, man. Because anything can happen. Your power can go out.
Man, I can't my chihuahuas would freeze, man.
35 degrees.
Yeah, if you don't
that's not bad. I mean, 35 is not bad.
Light bulbs on top of our car.
We're going to lose 30 of those degrees over the next 2 days, though.
So for us, Monday is going to be 28, what it feels like, of about 18. Tuesday is going to be about 24, what it feels like, of about 9.
Ass off.
The irony, though, Joe, is you guys are going to get snowed on, but it's going to feel like hell.
Well, snow's weird because our snow is really wet.
Yeah.
It's
too humid down there for it to be powder.
So our problem is depending on what part you are. So it's going to be, so when it actually snows down here, it's going to be between 28 and 32. So it's going to be a heavy snow. But where my partner lives, he's up about 50 miles north of us. It's much colder there. So he's going to get a whole different kind of snow. There's way less humidity than there is here.
They may get some more powdery stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be a little different for him. And then some places they're saying it's actually going to be too cold to snow. They're going to probably get more of an ice mix than a snow mix. But for us to get an ice mix, it has to be right above freezing. And then we get snow and ice, snow and ice, snow and ice. And it turns into a fucking slop pit is what it does. And our problem is you cannot go anywhere around here without going up a fucking bridge. I mean, not a little bridge. You got to go up a fucking bridge.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday here is going to be in teens.
That's how it is. It's going to be in the low
20s. 3 below though. Like for me, that's more like 13.
Starting
5 or 6 bridges coming in and out of Pennsylvania at Three River Stadium. I mean, there's
starting from Sunday night until I think late Wednesday evening. It's we're under at least 25 degrees.
Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. That'll be able to celebrate.
It's going to be chilly willy, man. But anyway, guys and girls, we got to get out of here. We're just chit-chatting.
All right, guys, I got to get going here, too.
Yes.
Don't forget, everybody out there, I have a show tomorrow night, 8:10 to 9:10. I'm going to have CJ. C.J. Thomas on tomorrow
you
night.
You mean CL Thomas?
CL, sorry.
Yeah. It's
CL. And
I hear y'all going to be discussing the anatomy of Dexter.
Yes, we'll talk about Dexter. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Jimmy Seals, yeah, they both hosting the same night. They both go host here.
See you, Shawn.
See you later, baby. We're getting ready to get out of here. Anybody who's got any moans, groans, bitches, a complaint, you know what? Write to Shawn. No, write to Shawn Kelly. Write to no, y'all write to Shawn Kelly. I'm gonna put his email.
He'll show up at your house. Give him your address.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it up on the thing. It's
did a bloody apron with a big butcher knife.
Denise Wiggins, we made a horrible mistake and we're going to all die. Trump's going to murder us all. Well, you know what? If it's the apocalypse,
so be it.
I'd rather have the madman in control than the one that didn't know what the fuck he was doing. So
yeah, anti-establishment. That's right.
It's but anyway, we got to go. No, I think Trump's going to be fine. I think he wants to leave a legacy for his family.
He was fine last time. He did a hell of a lot.
He did a pretty good job.
The only thing that really ruined his career is the COVID mid-sentence or mid-administration.
I don't like him either, man. But things up, you know what? I just want someone in there. I don't have to like the person in there.
Yeah, but I feel like he's changed.
I want them to do a good
he's
job.
An asshole on Twitter and he makes some angry tweets, or if he pisses somebody off, or he says something rude. Like
I haven't even been seeing that so far. Anyway.
He hasn't been doing that. If you notice, man.
Yeah, and I don't think he's going to let the media get to him like he used to, because now he's beat the media, so he doesn't need to.
His newest handler, who got him to keep his calm through those debates, where he would have been like, blah, 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 he would have blown up at him and been like, anti-bully idiot. I think he can come back as vice president.
I think since he got shot, and since he got shot,
that made a difference. All of that made a difference. And I think his son seeing him getting shot and them talking about it afterwards also made a difference. Yeah, so I think that's just a fundamental change. And I think he wants to see us, become the great nation we used to be, not this inclusive bullshit nation that we don't care how. Someone never understood. We're going to always put people in places instead of doing it because they're the right person for the right job. We're going to do it because they have a mustache, lipstick, and a dress. No, come on now. That's a little. You can't put somebody like that in charge of the Pentagon, and you're going to bitch about somebody who's got military experience being in charge of the Pentagon. There's something wrong with you.
You're right.
Well, I always said, Michelle. That's why.
It's not opiates. It's fentanyl and all that. So
that's an opiate. It's fentanyl. It's heroin.
Fentanyl
it's
is synthetic.
Methamphetamine.
All that shit.
All three of those.
Fentanyl is synthetic. It's not opium. It's synthetic. But that's why it's so cheap, and you can get 30 cents a pill on the street. So super cheap, super accessible. People zombies.
It needs to go away. And we talked about it earlier. The reason, but you see, Michelle, that's the reason I own my big sword collection. I'm ready for the zombie apocalypse, buddy. Yeah. I'm ready. Plus, my pistols all have 20
it's and 31 not just the borders to the south.
With exploding clips.
We only inspect 1% of all the containers. We only inspect 1% of all the containers that come into the U.S. So if we're only inspecting 1% and all that fentanyl,
but that's not even where the fentanyl comes from. What's that fucking fentanyl? What's that fucking fentanyl is coming in people's pants?
The drugs are the fentanyl drugs, the heroin, and the methamphetamines, and it's Baltimore has it bad. Hagerstown here in Maryland has it bad. Lots of cities you wouldn't expect have it really bad, and it's like Michelle said. Have you ever seen the videos and tapes of these people that are like so stoned? They're like they wobble and they almost fall all the way down.
Watch it live on YouTube, man. Kensington, go check out Kensington, man. Philadelphia.
They have that Narcan stuff that they want you to buy, and help the cities, pay for. It's like $300 a shot. I'm like, some of these people have overdosed 3 and 4 times. I say after the 3rd time, no, you're not getting another chance. Sorry, I wouldn't help them.
Adios, fucking amigos, baby.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna get out of here, guys and girls. Thanks again for tuning in to United Pug Radio. This is the chat. And if you really do have a complaint about it, you can actually write to me about this one, because I'm going to tell you what you can do with your complaint. Now, if you got some suggestions, feel free to write in, and then we may take your suggestions to heed. You never know.
Yeah.
We like to add things, or if there's a topic that you might want to hear about, or something you think we should be challenging, or somebody you just want to hear us curse about, send it to me. icar@cox.net. ICAR@cox.net. And we'll see if I get, or if you have a guest you might want to see on the show, but This is a dangerous show for a guest, so keep that in consideration when you think about that.
So we can put them in a big hat, scroll them around, take the good ones, throw them out, and then what's left, we use those as subject matter.
Yes. So, but I mean, we got lots of stuff across. It's a new year. We still haven't even really gone over last year yet, and the crappy things. I don't know if I even want to go over last year. To be honest, it's better just to forget.
The show's about nothing and everything. We don't have to talk about last year. Last year's
fucking last year.
That happened back there. What's going on over
2024? Did we have a 24? I thought we skipped that year. I don't know. Anyway, on that note, good night and stay tuned for Spaced Out Radio with Dave. Hi. Oh no, actually nobody's next. It's just a rerun. So that slot is available for I think it's I'd have to go look at Michelle. I think it's like $5.50 a month or $3.50 a month. You have to go look and see. But anyway, good night. And if this show keeps growing the way it is, it's going to be far more expensive. So I would tell you to grab it now while it's cheap. Good night, everybody.